Alright guys, hey. Um, just a brief discussion, or rather monologue from me, regarding the proposed changes in the public test environment regarding quirks and the system that is going to replace it. I am currently logged into the public test environment, but let's pop over to the main page just for a brief overview. Here we have what we see from Russ, the discussion on what's going to happen. It's a 4-axis chart where we have movement, firepower, infotech, and protection as the main axis. And what this means is basically that every mech will be judged according to protection, firepower, mobility, and infotech. So no mech will be all powerful in all 4 axes, as far as I understand it. And if we look at the in-game stuff, that kind of proves itself. You will see what I'm talking about. So let's check out what we have for mechs. Let's begin on the lights. In the example that Russ is talking about on the homepage, he mentions that some of these will have emphasis on scout, infotech abilities, and movement. So, for example, let's check out the Ravens. The 3L is one of the most common scouts there is, and it gets a target scan, target retention bonus. It has acceleration and deacceleration bonuses as well, but it has a little bit harder turning and turn angle, meaning that it won't be a proliferate dogfighter as such, but it is a good spotter on medium and long range. It does not have good spotting abilities on the short range. If we go and look at the Ember, for example, we see that this one actually has short range, medium range, and long range scans. So it will be able to lock on and provide lock-ons faster to friendlies on the short range as well. So I kind of judge this to be more of a brawler version of it, since it can actually help out short range as well. And we see various different emphasis on these mechs. For example, on the Locust 1E, very common 5 medium laser build, you will see that we have a small rate of heat loss at the bottom of that column of plus 5%. And that's about the only place I can find anything about heat generation as an improved. Chassis-wise, there is differences between each chassis as well. So within the Locust family, we have, for example, slightly higher structure points or benefits on different versions of the Locust, and different negatives as well. It is not that apparent because, well, lights tend to be heavy on movement and infotech stuff. The cheetahs haven't got much to say about. There are some reds, negatives, but it's a pretty agile mech to begin with. So, and please remember, this is the first run of their version of it, so we'll see what happens. Popping on to mediums, we all know that Blackjack 1X is a killer mech, and it has received structure points additionals, but it also has some negatives. It is slower to turn rate is a little bit slower, and lock-ons is way slower, so it will not be able to spot on the short range, mid range, or long range any quicker. So you definitely need the lights to help out here. But it is good at turn rate. It will be slower in acceleration and deacceleration. far as I can tell, one of the largest family differences is within the Centurions, because we have quite a lot of different negatives and positives which run through the family. Most, if we see on the Yen Lo Wang, here we go. That's quite a lot. It has bonuses all over the place, as opposed to some of the other ones. The Sparky, additional structure points, some acceleration, deceleration. It will be less mobile twisting, but it is still going to be a hell of a mech. Lock-ons and close and medium range is increased by a lot. There's 250%. Whoa! Short range, it will not be able to see stuff in a hurry. So we start to see that the heavier we get, the less movement bonuses and infotech bonuses do we get. But we start to have a lot more specific ones regarding structure and protection. Heavies are supposed to be mobile, so we still see a lot of mobility, of course, but quite not so much on infotech. Now, as to the quirks which are currently in place, for example, the classic 5SS meta build with 7 medium pulse lasers. As far as I can tell, we still have a decent heat. In-game 1.34, but the quirks as such is not, as far as I can tell, counted here, so it should do worse than it is currently in the current meta, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it was a little bit over the top. Hell of a lot of fun, but let's see what happens when we get these in its place instead. You can see the differences here in structure. The 5SS is not that tough, but we look at the 5SP, and all of a sudden we have 20 extra instead of the 7. Moving on, let's check out the Atlas, because here we have quite a lot of interesting stuff. On the DDC we have no structure bonuses, and it's a little bit slower. Got some good scans and torso twists, but if we pop over to the D version, the original one, you see that we have structure points ranging from 47 to 50 points extra all over the place. So this thing will tank, and as far as I can tell, this is going to be the tankiest assault of them all. If we pop over to the Direwolf, for example, we see that structure-wise, it does not get that much. Then again, it is a weapons monster, so it will still do a lot of DPS as opposed to the Atlas. So I kind of like the difference between going all in weapons or being tanky. That's okay with me. The king crabs haven't got a lot of benefits. Some do, but not many of them. Sorry, actually 2 of them have got benefits, but the 00L is not. Okay, interesting. Mauler is not updated as far as I can tell. Those still have the quirks from the current game. So let's find something here with huge. There we go. This has a target scan time short range 300% extra. So let's equip this with an engine and see what we can do in the game. Sweet, alright, that one. Now, I'm not entirely sure what's the difference between acquisition and target scan. I'm gonna find out, I guess.
Target acquired.
Whoa. Do you see that? That took a long time to get up the paper doll. So target scan may be that. 300%. Let's check the next target. Let's move over. So basically, if an assault if an assault with 300% extra has to acquire the paper doll itself, it will not know the injured points on the mech opposing.
New target acquired.
For a long time. Yeah, target scan is definitely that. So guys, I urge you, get in here, check it out. Let the people in the forums and PGI know what you think about it, because that's the only way we're gonna be able to give some proper feedback. Cheers!